Guys, welcome back. So what we're going to talk about now is a lot on mindset. Not only mindset, but I want to give you guys a very clear path to success. Now that you're here, right, I don't want you to just float the breeze, if you will. I don't want you to just go through the motions. We want to be super intentional about what you're chasing and how you're chasing it. So guys, a lot of really successful authors that teach on business and success often teach on the very same formula that I'm getting ready to talk to you guys about. So that formula is be, do, have, right? Simple words, but I want to really expand them for you and what I mean by that. So I have kind of a math brain. In my head, I kind of have turned it into a math formula. Be plus do equals have. So what do I mean by that? And how do you achieve success using this formula? Okay. Well, first, we have to define what it is that you want to have. Okay. Maybe that's our personal why. This is our end goal. And the problem is, and why I think a lot of people do this backwards, is they'll just fall into an opportunity. They'll just fall into a job. And that's what they decide to be. Okay. And then they just do that opportunity like the person they already were. And then those two things dictate what they have. So it was random. It wasn't intentional. Achievement wasn't intentional. So if we want to flip that, have must be first. Okay. So step one is to define your have. And how do we do that? I want you guys to dream for a minute. And I understand like the word dreamer in our society kind of can be a negative connotation. Like you ever go to like the family barbecue and you're like, hey, where's cousin so-and-so at? Like, oh, you know, he's out there in California. You know him, he's just a dreamer. And you're like, oh, yeah, right? It's kind of a negative connotation. However, we have to understand that a dream is just a wish that seldom occurs. But we have to start with a dream. And I want you to take that dream and I want you to think about where you are gonna be in 5 years. Where do you wanna be in 5 years, 10 years? So close your eyes for a minute, right? And we've got this dream way up in the clouds and we're gonna pull it out of the clouds and we're gonna turn it into a vision. Imagine yourself in 5 years. There you are and you've won, right? You've won the game, maybe at your place of business, maybe you're at home. But I want you to really paint some color to this picture. There's yourself. Do you see yourself? Do you see that version of yourself? What's different about you physically, emotionally, right? Spiritually, how you handle things, characteristic traits. What's different about that 5-year version of yourself that's already won than the default you that is sitting there right now? What is around you, right? Where are you living? What kind of home do you have? Who is around you? Really paint that picture. All right, now open your eyes. So we turned this fuzzy dream that we had, we pulled it out of the clouds, and we just turned it into a vision. And what I want you to do is I want you to go home, or if you're at home, after this, I want you to turn that vision into a goal. I want you to write down all those things. I want you to write down the you and the type of you that was there. Who were you with? What do you have? And so you're not a dreamer anymore, right? You're just a doer. You got a very clear vision and you turned it into a goal. The reason why that's so important, right, is that if we want to have success, we must be goal-oriented, but task-focused. When we turn that dream into a vision, it gives us a goal. It gives us a north-pointing arrow. It gives us somewhere to orient ourselves, right? I'm going west, or I'm going north. It gives me a general direction, okay? But along that road, right, what exactly am I doing is the task, okay? And that's what we're gonna kind of really define for us. So we've taken this dream, we've turned it into a goal, right? And a vision, and that's what our have is. So we have that clearly defined, and that's step one, because that gives us a relativity marker. It gives us a yardstick of measurement for what success looks like. It gives me a compass. Am I even going in the right direction? And without that, guys, we're just floating the breeze. You're just floating out in space. You have no relativity on any opportunity that you're given on a daily, on a weekly basis. Am I getting closer to where I want to be? Right? Well, without really defining where you want to be and who you're going to be with and the you that's going to be there, you don't know that. And that's a stressful life. I need to know that I'm getting closer to where I want to go, right? And that's a personal revelation to you, right? Where is it that you're trying to go? Now that we have that defined, we've got our have defined, and be plus do equals have. Step two, I'm going to find a vehicle that's going to get me to that have the fastest. Maybe you haven't done this exercise, but if you're watching this video, you've accidentally decided that this journey with Encore is the fastest vehicle to get you where you're trying to go. Or maybe you're watching this and saying, I got to hop off this bus. right? Hopefully not. The reason why I'm here, because it is the vehicle that's gonna get me to where I wanna go. So that's how I determine opportunities is it going to get me to where I'm going? Number one, is it gonna get me there faster than the opportunity that I'm currently sitting on, right? So when you find that opportunity, I'm gonna hop on that bus and I'm gonna look around and I'm going to be, so now we're on step 2, which is be, I'm gonna be like the people that are already successful in that business. I'm gonna be like the 5-year have version of myself, and that's how I'm gonna conduct myself along this journey. You have to understand that the default version of you, this might sting a little bit, it's not good enough. The default version of me is not good enough to get where I wanna go. The default version of me is not good enough. It's not the best husband that I wanna be for my wife, the father I wanna be for my kids in my 5-year vision. I'm better in 5 years than I am right now. I certainly hope so. I hope the goal is to evolve and get better no matter where you're at. The problem is that even if we define the have, right? We hop on a bus and we find the right opportunity that's gonna get us there, but then we just be ourselves, right? Which that's what we hear a lot lately. Just be yourself, just be yourself. It's great, right? Wrong. Yourself got you to where you are now, okay? But what we know is that yourself, the default version of yourself, is not gonna get you to where you're going next. So we've defined our have, and we've also defined, right, very specific character traits of the person that achieved that have, the me version of that achieved that have. So you're on this bus, this Encore bus of selling solar. So who am I gonna be? I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna say, okay, the best solar sales folks in the entire world, I'm gonna list some character traits, right? We could just brainstorm some. So what are some? Like confidence, right? Of course. Charming, of course. Integrity, of course. Has grit, of course. And we could go on. And even if you're brand new in this game, I guarantee you could list out 10, 15 character traits of a high-level solar salesperson. If you were writing a movie today and it was about the best solar pro that ever existed, right? And you have to write this character description, I promise you, even if you're on day 1, you could write that character description. So what does that mean? We know what kind of person we need to be, right, to be successful on this bus. Here's the problem. People look at that character list and they say, oh, confidence, that's just not me. Oh, charming, I'm not really a charming person. That's just not me. Wrong. We have to understand every character trait that we just listed, and we could go on and on and on and on, every single one of them is a choice, right? You get to choose to be confident. Nobody's ever empowered you with that statement. Let me do that right now. It's a choice. You get to choose to be outgoing. You get to choose to have integrity, right? You get to choose to have grit. It's a choice for you to leave the sales field 3 hours early. That was a choice. If you're the person that has done that. If you do that, that was a choice. Having grit is a choice. All these character traits that we listed, it's a choice. And if you're looking at that and you're going, well, Seth, that's just not me. Change. Just change, right? Just be that. And I'm gonna tell you, when you choose to be that, it's gonna be very difficult at first, right? It's gonna be abrasive, okay? Trying to change your personality and your person, it's gonna seem abrasive because of years and years of what I'm gonna call scar tissue built up from being this default version of yourself. There's lots of great things about that. That's why you're here. We like you. Be here, but I want you to grow into this next person. I want you to grow into this person that you've already defined. So we can be very intentional and say, you know what? That person that's there has a lot more confidence than I do. That person that's there and already won is a lot more insert character trait. So when I go out, and here's the really awesome and empowering part of our job. When I go out into the sales field, I put my Encore hat on, or my lanyard, the people at the door, they don't know if I'm the default version of me or if I'm already the version of me that has already won. They don't know that. So I get to try this version of me on for size every day in every door. So what I'm challenging you to do is each piece that's not you, right? When you go out there and you're having conversations with homeowners, do it like the 5-year version of yourself. Choose to be the 5-year version of yourself. You have to be that person if you want to have what that person has. And it's gonna be exhausting, right? If you're not a confident person and you go out and you're confident for 5 hours or 6 hours on the door, right? You're gonna get home, the door's gonna slam, you're gonna throw that hat off and you're, oh man, really difficult being confident all day long. I'm gonna go back to being an introvert now, right? And you're gonna get to sit on the couch and turn Netflix on, right? And the tension releases. But you know what's really interesting, what I find, and maybe it's not just confidence, insert said character trait. As you go through that exercise more and more, this is gonna happen one day. This is the really powerful part. One day you're gonna get home and you're gonna realize that you were home for an hour or 2 hours. You're accidentally still the 5-year version of yourself. And you go, oh crap. And you're gonna, whoa, I forgot to take it off. And you go right back to the default version of yourself. And then one day you're gonna go to bed accidentally, like that 5-year version of yourself. And then you're gonna wake up and you go, oh man, all night last night until I went to bed, I was this person, right? Oh, that's scary. I'm the default version of myself over here. And then one day you're gonna wake up like that. And then it's gonna be 2-3 days you're gonna string together. Then it's gonna be a whole week, right? And then eventually you are just going to be this person that you've defined and that you've chosen to be. Because we've already decided that's who won, that's who's winning, right? The you that got you here isn't gonna take you there. The me that got me back there isn't the me that got me here, and it's not the me that's gonna get me there. The me that's back there sucks. And that's why I decided to change. Super powerful, and understand you're empowered to choose to be that. It's a choice for you to choose to not be that. It's a choice. Moving on to the do part. Pretty simple, and along the same vein, I'm gonna look around at the people that are already successful on this bus. I'm gonna say, how do you do this? So the do part, it's our tactics, right? This is our art. This is becoming good at our craft of sales. How do you stand at the door? How do you speak? What are you saying, right? What time are you waking up in the morning? What are you doing before you go to bed? How much piece of your time pie are you giving home? And how much piece of your time pie are you giving your work balance? And what are you doing physically and spiritually that's getting you to be that person when you get to the professional part of your day? So I'm gonna pick up, habits, and I'm gonna pick up, daily tasks, right? And the skill in the do portion of people that are already doing it. Guys, we're in the information age. It's all out there. You can't find it on this video or one of our videos, go find a YouTube video. It'll tell you. There's no excuse for not understanding the do. But if you were to do the do, being the default version of yourself, it's not gonna get you what you wanna have. It's a whole equation. You have to be the person that already achieved the have. And while you are that person, you have to do what other people are already doing that are successful in your arena. Without each piece of the equation, it does not equal what you want to have. Be plus do equals have. Thanks, guys.